Right, now, can we please welcome to the Bavard Bar stage our final Bavard of the evening, the fabulous Maureen Marsh, who's going to give us Confessions of a Crazy Cat Lady.
There we are.
Oh, good. It's little implement.
Yes.
Oh, so thank you for that. And so my first confession is I did feel a little nervous, a little vulnerable coming up here in front of a bunch of strangers to talk about my pussy. But, you know, you look such a warm, friendly, inviting audience. I have a sense that you maybe have an appreciation for pussies. Am I right? Yeah, and you know, being a crazy cat lady, when I look out, I don't really see a sea of human faces. I see something more like this. Oh, yeah. Oh, I wish you all did look like that. That would be so cool. Anyway, so it's a bittersweet tale, really. I became a crazy cat lady at the very young age of 4 when my mother brought into the kitchen this little black and white adorableness that she very imaginatively named Kitty. She named another one later on Tiger. I don't know where these names came from, such inspired imagination, bless her. Anyway, you know, I've been hooked for life. My mother was a crazy cat lady, my sisters are crazy cat ladies, and yes, here I am as a crazy cat lady talking about it. Anyway, I looked up a definition. Right, and I couldn't find one definition, so I found a sort of amalgamation of a definition of crazy cat lady, and here it is. Elderly or middle-aged spinster with many cats. I really don't like that, so I've kind of created my own. Actually, are there any bona fide crazy cat people in the audience? Yeah? Bona fide? Yes. Okay, thank you. Yes, Claudine, I know. I've seen your pussy. It was very nice. Yeah. So I've come up with my own definition. Crazy cat people, you were like this. Yep. A somewhat cool, intelligent individual who's a mystical connection with all feline energy. That is better. Don't you agree that's better? Yeah, thank you. So, you know, what was the history? What's the history of this kind of, what would you call it, an addiction, an affliction? Well, I looked at the history and I saw a sprinkling of bona fide crazy cat people, and this is just a sprinkling because there's many of them. And we've got like Ramesses at the top, yeah? So you'd expect an Egyptian ruler to be a crazy cat person, yeah? Apparently he had like cheetahs and shit, you know? How amazing. Oh yes, Isaac Newton, you know, as I said, intelligent, cool, and Freddie Mercury, who famously telephoned his cats when he was on tour. Isn't that just so cute? Don't you just miss Freddie Mercury being on the planet? Yeah. And Florence Nightingale, who owned over 60 cats in her lifetime. I mean, 60 cats. She was pussy mad. Bless her. Okay, so there must be some science behind this. I mean, so many people with this addiction. So I looked into the science, and scientific reason number 1, they are bloody awesome. Scientific reasons 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those Tobies, aren't they? Really pink. Enormous orbs. I mean, when a cat gazes at you, it's like they're burning a hole in your soul, and you're never quite sure if they want to love you or eat you. Floofmeisters, yes. They are the floofmeisters of the animal kingdom. You know, when you are a crazy cat person, basically, your clothes are covered in floof, your food is covered in floof, your guests are covered in floof, your life is essentially floof covered. Oh, you've got to get over that. Ah, toxoplasmosis, right. Ooh, got a bit serious now. now, toxoplasmosis. Anybody heard of this? Yeah, okay, so you know it's a parasite, yeah? Whose primary host is cats, but other mammals can be infected with it. And what scientists have found is that when mice and rats are infected with toxoplasmosis, it does a sort of chemical rewiring of their brains, so they're actually attracted to cats and thereby get eaten by them, and then the whole life cycle continues. It's really, pretty bloody amazing. So essentially, the mice and rats are attracted to that which is most dangerous to them. And they're wondering if the same might apply to humans. Apparently, 20% of Americans are infected with it. Explains a lot, right? Although, I actually like Americans. It's just that their president is like toxoplasmosis, isn't he? Infecting the minds of the American people so they're attracted to that which is most dangerous to them. Have I got a bit too political? Actually, Donald Trump and myself, we have something in common. Yeah, we have both been known to grab a pussy. Yeah. But bearing in mind the whole toxoplasmosis thing, I have rewritten my dating profile, and here it is. Yeah, middle-aged crazy cat lady riddled with toxoplasmosis. 6 gentlemen with fur coat, whiskers and tobies. Form an orderly queue, please, gentlemen. The truth is, it's a weird thing though, dating, isn't it? Especially when you're sort of mature, because the weird thing is that when you're looking for love, when you're searching for it, you can't find it, can you? However, the moment you turn your back, you can't find it, can you? But, yeah, yes, indeed. But, I have found love in my life, and I've found love in my life with my cats, and this is where I introduce you to Bonnie and Clyde. Mum, that's how you name cats, and this here is Clydie. And as you can see, thank you, thanks Claudine, understands, you see. Ginger Ninja, as you can see, ginger top of his head, tip of his tail, ginger eyes, and a little gingery by nature. And, he had this amazing walk. He'd walk down the hallway and there was a lot of shoulder action involved. Like he was this really dangerous prairie cat, But he was like this saggy, baggy, adorable cloth cat of a cat. And his passions were food and laps, which I'm told aren't original. However, we used to sit on the sofa and he'd come in and it was like his eyes came out on stalks. It's like, 2 laps, and he'd be like, oh shit, he's going to take up residence on our laps. And you see, you knew once that happened, and Claudine, you'll know this, once they take up residence, that is it, they're not going to move. In fact, there's a gap in the market there for nappies for crazy cat ladies, so they never have to move from the sofa, ever. Have I gone too far? I probably have. Never mind. Anyway, he used to come, so he'd take up residence on your lap, and he would just start purring, and he had this amazing purr. It was like a whole body action purr, and it was like mesmerising, and it was like you close your eyes, and it was like you became the purr became you. It was like this cosmic spiritual thing. Oh, he was so utterly, utterly beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Clyde just for existing. Thank you for humouring me there. Thank you. So, and now I'll introduce you to Bonnie. There she is. Oh, thank you. Yes, wasn't she? Wasn't she? Oh, just a chocolate box beauty of a darling, of a gorgeousness. She was plump as a turkey and full of love. And while Clyde had this kind of shoulder action, she had this trot. She would trot down the hall like a little pony to greet you. It was adorable. horrible. She did this thing where she'd sit on the back of the sofa, and she only did it to me actually, and all you had to do is walk in the room and she would stick her arse in the air and start purring frantically. It was so flattering. And we did this thing, this little game, where I'd turn my head and look at her and she'd stick her arse up in the air, and then I'd turn back, she'd lower it down, and we kept it. It would amuse us. I think it was a visual. I think you had to be there. But anyway, she was adorable, and I think she deserves a round of applause as well. Would you humour me again? Oh, you're very kind. You're very kind. Thank you. Thank you. But you know, all these stories come to an end, don't they? And 3 years ago, Clydie had a heart attack and died. And then Bonnie was diagnosed with cancer like about a month later, and almost exactly a year also passed away. And then, you know, it's like you're just left with this grief. I doubt there's anybody here that hasn't experienced that grief, you know. It's just like gut-wrenching, like, you know, like you're carrying around a sack of rocks in your heart, you know, that song, that old devil could love again with these rocks in my heart. Oh, Lord, it's just like that. It's just like you can't, the whole day, it's just carrying around this way. And it just feels like things are never, ever, ever going to be all right again. And they kind of never are, but I think with grief, it's like you learn to live around the chasm, don't you? You learn to live around that big chasm that's been left, and eventually you build your life up again. And, you know, scientists have looked into the nature of grief, actually, and because there's a perception that the grief you feel for your beloved animals is somehow different from the grief you feel for your beloved humans. But in fact, what they've discovered is there's no difference, you know? It's like grief is grief. Indeed, there's an argument that people grieve their animals more. And I was pondering this, because I was wondering, is this true? And if it's true, why? And I was earwigging this conversation, this guy, I think he was sort of trying to impress this girl, and he was saying, oh, what you see is what you get, you know, what you see is what you get. And I'm thinking, well, with us humans, right, what you see is never what you get, is it? What you see is what we'll show you, but what you get is the 90% beneath the surface, right, like an iceberg, 90% beneath the surface. And it's like, what is that? What is that? It's 1,000 masks, isn't it? It's 1,000 different faces that we hold. And I was thinking, like, maybe if you're lucky and you meet someone and you're vulnerable enough to each other, you can begin to kind of put on your metaphorical wellies, right, and begin to wade through those masks, those faces, right? And perhaps you'll even get taken into the secret room. We've all got that secret room, right? You know, the one with the dusty box marked, shit, I don't want any motherfucker to know about me. You know that one? You might actually get to open that and show that to someone. Lucky them! And, you know, and then you might go a bit deeper, you might get a bit deeper, and you might peel away a layer, peel away another layer, peel away another layer, deeper, 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 until, yeah, you might hit that divine essence, right? That which you truly are, that which connects you to yourself, to everybody else and everything else, and wow, isn't it beautiful when you get there? Is it? Do you get there? Yeah. But you know, with a cat you're already there. You're seeing their divine essence, it's staring at you, it's got toe beams, it's got floof. Indeed, you know, if you look at any animal, you're already there. Their divine essence is there. They never got disconnected like we did, right? So, this is why we love animals. This is why we like to hang out with them. This is why we've got therapy animals, for God's sake. Therapy animals, think about it. It's like they're healing us. It's like they're reminding us of who we truly are, yeah? So what else did I learn from my cats? Be true to yourself. Well, it's kind of the same thing. Did anyone ever meet a cat that was worried about its self-image? It's like, oh, I'm not as ginger as I used to be. Oh, I'm so worried about it. No, they give zero fucks about everything. They're just brilliant. It's like, oh, go fuck yourself. It's that attitude is so captivating. Take sleep seriously. Well, Yeah, exactly. Apparently 17 out of 24 hours, Claudine, you'll know this with your cat, right? They're never happier than when they're asleep, right? Apparently human beings are averaging 5. Oh, no wonder we're so bonkers. Approach life with dignity, yes, because cats, you know, they kind of got this grace about them, haven't they? They're kind of sort of gliding, they don't hold on to things like we do, you know, they don't identify with stuff like we do. We can learn so much about that. And love, yeah. Definitely learned about love, how to give and receive loves from my cat. But you know, I don't want to sort of finish this talk on a downer about humans, because, you know, actually, if you tune into the news, if you look at what's happening, you kind of think, you would think we're all about the hate, but actually I think nothing could be further from the truth. I think actually, our divine essence, it is love, you know? It's unconditional love. That's who we truly are. But somehow we got disconnected. I don't know how. We got disconnected. And in that chasm that appeared from that disconnection, we've allowed all these voices to arise, these voices of anger, of psychopathy. We've allowed terrible things to happen to our planet. We've allowed these voices to begin to steer us in a direction. So, you know, if ever there was a time to wake up to our true nature, well, it's got to be now, right? Because with love running the human show, there is nothing we cannot do. I really believe that. And there is nothing we cannot heal, including our broken hearts and this beautiful planet. Thank you for listening to me.
Very good. Thank you so much, Maureen. Maureen Marsh, ladies and gentlemen. How fabulous.